that vision and you want to go for it, what needs to happen. And so congratulations, first of all, to you guys. That was tough. So I'll pass the mic through the row, but if you could tell everybody, first of all, who you are, maybe how long you've been with LifeVantage, what your profession is or was before LifeVantage or currently. But I think the biggest thing I want to hear from each of you is how long did your enroller talk to you before you decided to do the business?
And of course, you get to start with me. My name's Dr. Janet Klein. I'm well, actually, it's Bridget now after last night. For those that were at the Mentalist, you'll understand that one. And Dr. Brett, I knew before he was even a chiropractor. And for 10 years, he told me about LifeVantage. And I kept saying, no, I'm not ready. I don't want to do that. My timing wasn't right. And when the GLP-1 launched, he came to me again. He said, this might be your time to start. This is like a huge opportunity. And I'm like, well, I'll try the products first. If they do anything, then I'll talk to people about it. Well, within a week, I was telling everybody about it. And I said, okay, I'm in. And now it was a whirlwind. I didn't know anything about LifeVantage. I didn't know anything about the products. I kept telling him all the time, send me a video about this. Somebody asked me about this, and on and on and on. So for those out there that think you have to be a doctor to do this, you don't. You just ask for a video and send it. And that was really the beginning. That was what got me so passionate, like most people, the science, the products. And then when I first got in, it was like a year and a half ago is all. And when I met Carrie, wherever she, right there, I told her, I said, I know you guys have been looking to earn this like cruise to Alaska. And I know there's only like 2 or 3 more months left in this qualification that you guys have been doing all year or something. Can I win that? And she's like, if you keep doing exactly what you're doing, you're going to win it. So thank you. So that was the first trip that I got to win. It was beautiful.
I'll correct that with earn.
Earned. Yes, thank you. Earned. And then the Mexico one, because of the products, because of the results, and because of the passion that so many of my team members had, the very first month, I had so many people ranking up in SC1 and SC2 and SC3 and all of this, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And one earned the Mexico one in 1 trip, or 1 month, the very first month. I was like, oh my gosh. I think Marisa did too. And then when this one came, and they said, well, you have 90 days, these are the qualifications, and I thought, oh my God, this is gonna be tougher, because I'm MC2. That means I have to rank up, or I have to like enroll a lot of people to get those enrollment points, or I have to help my team advance. And when that clicked, I'm like, I gotta build a bigger team. I gotta help them get to SC1, I gotta help them get to SC2, I gotta help them get brand new when they're right here, and so that's, I mean, literally was at like a week, or maybe 5 days, and Carrie said, what are you doing? You are like way far away from earning this trip. And I'm like, you don't have to tell me. I know I'm like 30 points away, and I got like 4 days to go. Not quite like that.
I bet you it was pretty close to like that.
She's tough. When she called me up and she said, and I said, I'm not going to do it. I can't. And she goes, I'm going to hang up the phone and call you again, and let's let Janet answer and not whoever I'm talking to right now. So it's like, okay. So I got my butt in gear, and we made it happen like 11 o'clock the last night.
So would it be worth having follow-up conversations, even if it took 10 years, to get Janet Klein in your business?
Don't wait that long. Stress to them, don't be a Bridget. Start right away. Anyways, he was great. He didn't pressure, he didn't push, he didn't do anything. He just every once in a while would have a conversation. We'd run into each other at a seminar. Here's the thing. when collagen came out, my husband had to have, and I know I'm groaning, my husband had to have a shoulder replacement surgery. I wasn't with LifeVantage, but I love that guy and how great he is and what he knows. And so I called him up and I said, listen, my husband has to have a surgery. What should I give him? He said, get on the collagen right now so he has a great recovery, on and on. And I said, okay. And he did. The orthopedic surgeon said, I've never seen anybody heal this fast and not have pain, didn't take painkillers or anything. I'm not here to treat, diagnose, all the disclosure thing there. But still, that was 3 years before I joined. I still did it, and I thought, oh my God, my patients suffered for 3 years because I didn't tell them about this. Don't be a me. Get excited, get passionate, or be a better believer in yourself of what we have and communicate it.
Yes. Amen.
So I'm Dr. Erin Greer, and right now I do functional medicine. I will say that before that, for almost 20 years, I was in allopathic medicine, and I did internal medicine and nephrology. We had very, very sick patients, very medically complicated patients, and nobody treated the underlying cause, and I didn't understand that. So I knew that there was a better way, and by the grace of God and from Michelle and Sean Foe, I was liberated from the chains of allopathic medicine about 2 years ago. Praise the Lord. I didn't know what oxidative stress was. They didn't teach that in medical school. I had no idea what it was. And I would get article after article from Michelle about NRF2. And I'm like, what the heck is NRF2? And anyway, I don't feel so bad that she pursued me for about 2 years. 10 years.
2 is less than 10 is what she's saying.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you have to go rub it into bread.
Less than 2 years. It was good. I joined LifeVantage. This is my 3rd month, so I've not been here for very long. I don't have a lot of my stories yet, but I'm gathering them, starting to get a few. But I will say that about a year ago, my husband was very, very sick. He's not in this room right now, but he has been through a lot medically, and life was just a chaotic mess. And Michelle was there for me, and she gave me product and would text me, do you need more product? Do you need more product? And I didn't expect her to just give it to me, but she did. And I saw the science, and I felt confident talking to my patients about it. And I regret for 20 years, well, even the last 2 years, withholding this information from my patients, because there's nothing like prevention and keeping them from getting sick. If I could have done that for my husband, I don't think I could have really with what he was going on with him, but there's so much that you can do for people's health, and I feel like I lost that time with a lot of my patients, and now I'm working to get that time back. So this has been such a blessing for me. And when my husband was so sick, I had to take time off of work. I was in my own practice. I'm a partner with a chiropractor now, and I'm blessed that she still pays me, but you can't take time off and expect to get paid. You just can't. So if we were to ever have a situation where I needed to take time off, I would have this income. That's just the icing on the cake for me. My goal is to help patients. I want them to feel good, grow old, and feel good while they're growing old. Who wants to live till you're 90 if you feel like crap, right? So that's what keeps me awake at night, is my patients who are so sick. And I still see these very sick patients in my functional medicine practice. They have been to 25 doctors, have had tests up the wazoo. Nobody can tell them what's wrong. And it really all comes down to oxidative stress and treating that. And it takes time, but I have started to see some patients get better. So I'm just thankful that Sean and Michelle have come into my life, and she was very persistent. My goodness, I wish I had the energy she has. It's just been amazing. So this is a wild ride, and I will tell you that when they first mentioned the Whistler trip, I mean, that was only 3 months ago. And they were saying, you know, what I needed to do to earn it. And my husband's like, oh yeah, that's not going to happen. I thought to myself, game on. We're going to do this. And I didn't look at the numbers and the points and all the stuff, and I just did what I was told to do, and it happened. That's all you got to do is share with people. If you have a heart for people, that's all you need. And that's where my heart is with people and my patients.
So good, so good. And she's very humble about this, but she had less than 60 days to qualify because she didn't join until February, into February, and just crushed it, but super, super coachable. And again, she's very humble, but have you guys heard of Mayo? She was a chief resident in Mayo. Pretty impressive. She's a superstar. Congratulations.
Hello, my name is Dagmara Pospiek. I'm from Poland originally, born and raised. My dad was a herbalist, natural doctor, and alchemist. So I grew up on herbs, I guess. We didn't take regular medications. I grew up with the understanding of energy, which really helps me now because I don't look at numbers, I feel things. And that's how it was with LifeVantage. I didn't really study much of it. I asked Janet, I said, send me something about it because I'm really interested. I already work with patients, clients. I'm also a coach, life coach, NLP, medical intuitive, certified and all of those. But I work with people all my life, and my mission is to help, to heal the world, one person at a time. So when I work with detoxification in the past 5 years, I felt like we need something that it's next generation, that it's actually activating our potential. And that's when LifeVantage came into my life through Janet. So thank you for that. You just showed up, we just met, and I clicked with her, and I said, okay, that's it. That's the right person, that's the right company, because I feel the energy is right. And I started just talking about it in a market that is still closed. But it's okay. We're going to open Poland soon. So it's just, yes, my will to help people is so big that numbers don't matter really. They're just gonna happen. So how I earned this trip, I really don't know how to answer that question. Because
I think you have.
I told Janet, I said, I'm gonna be traveling. I have ceremonies, workshops in Poland. You know, I go to Peru, I go to Europe. I go all over the States, and I said, I don't think I have time to even go on a trip. And guess what? I bought tickets, and I realized after I won the trip that it's the next day after I come back from Paris. I will be in Arizona, so I can actually go, which is synchronicity. So it's all working out. Just trust it. Just trust the energy. Trust your passion. I'm wearing a necklace, which this is my brand, the highest version of yourself. I wrote a book about it. Strive to be your highest version. Your highest potential will get you everywhere. There's no limits. There's no limits in the highest version of yourself. There's no limits in your health, in your income, in your happiness, fulfillment, nothing. God made us perfect. So that's where I am. So thank you so much for LifeVantage, for all of you, for all these beautiful souls, for connecting. Carrie made me do it. She told me 2 weeks ago, she's like, you have to be here. You have to come over. And I was like, yeah, but I have all these things going. It's like, you have to be here. You know, I was supposed to be on Madeira Island right now. Paid trip. I didn't take it. Something told me not to go. And I'm here, so thank you.
My name's Cindy Hansen. Laura and I are business partners. We have a health and wellness business. I also work on the side. I am a chemical, nuclear, and biological engineer. Don't worry, I am normal. You can still talk to me. But yeah, we were introduced to LifeVantage through the Brim Halls. I'll let Laura talk about that. It's a little bit more of her story. As for me, I had my own experience actually with P84. I shared this on a call before, but I think I'll go ahead and share it here because I'm sure there's other people that could benefit from this. But for 10 years, I had struggled with two noticeable things. One was bad breath, which is so unfortunate because you never know that you have it unless you have a friend that can tell you that you have bad breath. Yeah. The other problem was cold hands and cold feet. I just struggled with it. It was just for years. And it was about the time that I became friends with Laura. It was about the time that I was having all those problems come up. And that was 10 years of time. I ended up taking P84 and it cleared both of those up. Yeah, yes. It's something that I knew that the bad breath went away when we did other things like a horrible detox diets, and I would never do again. It's so much easier just to pour in a shake, mix, drink. It's so much easier. Let's see, we started in LifeVantage, I think it was about a year and a half ago. It has felt shorter because of life situations. We had a house fire, so it feels like we haven't been with LifeVantage as long as we have. But yeah, as far as the Whistler trip, I really appreciated these incentives and the deadlines. As Brian had said earlier, you kind of put things off. As soon as I do this, then I'll go talk to that person, or as soon as whatever, and you don't have that as soon as when you have that deadline to be able to hit. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate our upline helping us as well with presentations and such. I've been talking to several different family members, and it wasn't until they joined a call that with that third party validation that they finally caught that vision and were sold on it. So yeah, that's what I have to say. I'll pass it on to Laura.
Yeah, so just like Cindy said, I'll try and make this really quick, but about 2 years ago, I had the crazy experience. I got super sick and found out I have a golf ball sized cyst in my brain. And Cindy was actually pushing me around in a wheelchair for a few months. I was so sick, and I prayed and I asked if the Lord would help me find some things that would help me, and one of those was LifeVantage. Between it and a lot of things, lots of life changes. After the first year, the cyst had already shrunk 25%, and I'm actually supposed to get another MRI actually this month, and I should have done it before this so I could say how much more it shrunk. But so we had signed up, and then as Cindy said, our house burned down as well, and lost everything, and that was really crazy trying to figure that out and deal with that as well. But it's interesting thinking about it. Dr. Janet actually signed up about the same time we did, and I saw that she had gone on the Bajanita trip, and I was like, oh, if we were actually not trying to just survive with not having a home and losing everything, but I was like, if we were really doing it, we could have done that, right? And so when this trip was coming up, I was actually thinking I would really like to do that. But I've never done network marketing. I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing, other than I love to talk to people. But actually it was this January, I actually was like, okay, I need to start moving forward, and I'm not quite sure how, because you think about doing stuff all the time, but actually taking the steps to do it is another thing. And so I actually prayed about it, and I was like, what do I need to do to move this business forward? And the impression that I had was talk to 5 people a day. And I was like, well, I'm good at that. I could do that. And it's not even like, hey, I need to talk to you about LifeVantage. I just started calling people to connect with them. And when they asked what I was doing, it was so easy to talk to them about that. And that's how things really changed. And I also love to have fun and tease, and it was really fun because I had a bunch of people that had committed to sign up, And it was crazy that last week, they were all falling out. And I was like, oh, I don't know how to do it. And Cindy says, well, the next easiest way to do it is just to rank up a third time. And I was like, and so we did it, and we were working our faces off. But it was fun working with Sherida as well, because when we made it, I actually said, Sherida, I looked how many points you get for someone under you rank advancing, and you're welcome. So what are you gonna do about it? And it was really fun. And she even said, she's like, well, there was another guy that rank advanced to SC1. I was like, Sherida, we did SC1, SC2, and SC3 for you. I was like, you're coming on this trip with us. And it was really fun. I think my favorite text of my life was the last day that we could qualify. And she said, girls, we're seriously doing this in the middle of the month next time. I'm having an anxiety attack right now. But I was so happy that, like, actually as a team, we just encouraged each other and we all made it together, so.
That was literally how it went down. And honestly, I was like, there is no way. Like, I looked at my points, I'm like, there's no way, but like, what can I do to help these girls to get there?
So every time that Sherida would say, Laura, you guys are close, you and Cindy work. And I'd say, well, Sherida, what are you doing to go? And she's like, I don't think I can make it. And I'm like, is that the attitude you want me to have? And she'd be like,
it's true, it's very true. Anyway, so it was just a riot. You guys, so a week before, we got Brenly from corporate. That girl is a godsend. We got on the phone with her, but I was messaging with her and I'm like, well, can you just get on the phone with us right now? And she did, like on a Saturday afternoon, and we just worked it backwards. It's like, this is what you need to do, this is where your focus needs to be. And literally messaged, she's like, I'm working till midnight. And we were, I hit Alaska midnight, New Year's Eve. And I was like, I am not waiting till midnight. And so it's like 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. But I was like, beyond, like my head was, I felt like it was gonna explode. But it was so fun to not even realize that it was even a prayer. But because they were putting so much effort in and working, I'm like, I can't not try. And regardless if I make it or not, like I really wanna hit that. But if I don't, I'm still gonna build my business and I'm still gonna be able to build my belief. I love these products, I always have, but to have a team to do it with is just unbelievable. So it was super fun to hit the trip and know we're going together. You guys, just do it. Just do it. Do it before the end of the month, before the end of the qualifications. It's a little stressful, but every time I talked to Laura and Cindy, it's like, oh my gosh, like kind of wavering, like, no, we're gonna do this. Like, doesn't matter, we're gonna do this. So it's super fun. And do not give up. Brett's been in this business for 11 years, and I have been in for about 3.5. And he told me about it a number of times. And I was like, no, I honestly didn't even listen to what he had to say. My son was on the product. I'm like, it's changing his life. But when I had a health struggle, I literally approached him. I said, I think I'm ready. And he's like, for what? And I said, I think I want to do Life Advantage. Like, I don't know what that means, but like, I need something besides work till I die as an option for retirement. And so you guys, it doubled my income and then some. Like, it's given me options and opportunities that I've never would have, and a family and a community that I would literally go to bat for any one of you. Like, it's about the community, 100%. So love y'all.
All right.